No success in the world can compensate for failure in the home. That's why Club Wealth was founded, to help driven, successful, and busy real estate agents like you double their business while building a strong, balanced home life. Join us each week as high-producing agents and team leaders share their stories and unpack the principles and systems they've used to double, triple, and even quadruple their business while enjoying greater quality of life. And now, here's the latest episode of Club Wealth TV.
Folks, my name is Michael Hillix, and I am here with Peter Schravemade. Hopefully you guys can pronounce that. So Peter is going to talk to us today about, get this, how to go from amateur to unforgettable in 7 minutes or less. So Peter,
Hey, how you doing?
Excited to have you here. So for those of you who don't know, Peter is well known for his photography prowess, and he's very passionate about marketing properties, marketing listings. And I got to tell you, this is a big deal because, frankly, if you ask Peter, and I think there are a lot of people that would agree with him, most people kind of suck. And I say most people, most agents kind of suck at marketing their listings right now, and really don't do a very good job of it. Even the ones that think they're doing a great job of it oftentimes aren't doing a great job of it. So Peter, talk to us about that. I know you've got to stop here in about 7 minutes, and so do I. So let's hear it.
Yeah, look, I suppose we see what's on the globe. So Box Brownie is in 96 countries. So we see quite a lot of what's going on around the globe. And when we come to America, there seems to be a couple of reasons why I guess property marketing is a bit of a dirty word. There is the marketing of yourself. There's lead generation. There's the way your industry works in the US. So specifically with a dual agent, a buying agent and a marketing agent, that's very different to the rest of the world. So, in different places around the world, there are things that are done as a default that are kind of different to what America does. But having seen them, we know that statistically they sell a house faster and for more money. So that tends to be the message that we have is these things are quite simple. If you up your game in any of those areas, you'll see a noticeable impact. Michael, let me give you an example. One thing that we see quite frequently, and I've spoken to you about this a lot on tour, is when an interior photo is taken using what is known as a professional photographer. Quite often we can't see outside the windows, or there is a haze outside the windows, whereas around the rest of the world, the standard of professional photography means that we can actually clearly see what is outside the window. And it's true to what the eye sees, which is really important when you're not only representing the seller, but trying to demonstrate a $2 million view that sits outside the windows, or even $100,000 view, that can be a big impact on the sale. So, there are a lot of things that we notice that aren't being done. And that's why we kind of focus quite a lot on the actual marketing of the listing, the property marketing, which is also, something that I guess is dear to my heart as a listing agent myself. That used to be where I would focus on. So,
it cracks me up that so many agents are satisfied putting out crappy photos, right? And it's funny. There was a time when my listings had, not very good photos either, but that was back in the day where you had to spend $3,000 on a professional photographer. Okay, not really $3,000, but you had to spend all kinds of money on a professional photographer to get any kind of decent photos. Nowadays, you don't have to do that. You can take your crappy iPhone photos, and I say crappy iPhone photos because they're still catching up with Android on the quality. But you
those are great gaming devices, those Androids.
Whatever, yeah, I toy lover. So, but here's the thing: the reality is, you can take those photos that you take from your iPhone or your Android, and you can literally send them over to Box Brownie, and they can look awesome right away. And to your point, one of the things that's an easy way to tell if somebody's taken the time to actually have professional photos done, or to at least have their photos edited so they look professional, is to look at, can I see outside the windows? If I'm looking in a room, if I just see bright white, in those windows, instead of actually being able to see like the eye would see out the window, that's not good. That's not a good look. And it's certainly not doing our sellers or our listings any favors.
Yeah, and photography is just the start of it. So, let me be clear. There are defined statistics in the US. You've got the National Association of Realtors, and they've done comprehensive studies since 2013, every year since 2013, and they've asked buyers what they want to see. So forget what the seller says, forget what the agent says is important to the listing. They've asked the buyers what is important to you in actually purchasing the property. And religiously, every year, what comes up is the same 5 things. I'm going to share those with you right now. So these are the 5 most important. I'm assuming you can see that, Michael.
Yes, we can. Yes.
So, in those studies, if you want to have a look at them, by the way, you just do a web search for the National Association of Realtors buyer and seller home profile. On about page 60 in all of them, it does vary, but 60 is the 2021. Come these stats, this is what the purchasers want to see. So they're telling us that number 1 on the list is good imagery. They want to see good imagery. The fact that they're saying that means that they're actually not getting it. If good imagery was a default, they probably wouldn't request it, but that is the number 1. The second one is copy with all essential details. So that's not just I'm writing a story about this house. That means that I'm telling them what the floors and the walls and the ceilings are made of. I'm telling them what brand the hot water system is. It's really in depth. You have that detail there. And that doesn't mean that needs to go on the listing. That just means that you have a profile sheet that describes the product for which you're selling, and that goes out to them. Seems very simple, but a lot of agents don't do it. A floor plan, so this is 3rd on the list. This is order of priority. Less than 5% of MLS listings have a floor plan, yet your purchasers for the last 7 years have told you that that's the 3rd most important thing they want to see. Not difficult to do. As you would know, you can draw it yourself. 360 or virtual tours come in 4th, and a very, very distant 5th, is video footage. Unbelievably, what we actually finding that is video footage is really only good to the purchaser in selling the lifestyle. However, I'm not saying, just to clarify, I'm not saying ditch video footage. Who it does make you look like a rock star is to the seller. So that they are the 5 things that I would concentrate on. And to be quite frank, the people who have done well in this pandemic period, if you want to call it, are actually those people who are including those 5 things as part of their listing. So I'd highly encourage you to consider that every single listing that you do needs to have those 5 things attached to it. And I'm not saying that because they are even services that we provide. We don't edit videos, yet that is on the list. It just is a statistical fact that is what helps sell a property. So look, I can't give it to you any more clearer than that. They're hard and fast stats. It's not Peter from Box Brownie telling you this. This is your own purchases. So, I would seriously be considering that this needs to be a fact in your next listing.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's interesting because data doesn't lie, right? And so when we can see from the National Association of Realtors data that shows us what buyers are looking for today, it's hard to ignore it, right? And if you're ignoring it, there's a problem, right? You need to really understand what are they looking for, because guess what? If you're not giving it to them, they're going to go find it somewhere else. And so the question is, where are they going to find it? And it's also not surprising to me that it goes hand in hand that people that are using these things regularly in their listings, they happen to be the ones that are doing the most business. Well, which came first? Was it that they were doing more money in their business and then they started adding these things, or was it they started adding these things and they started doing better in their business? I would like to believe, and I would guess that it's probably hand in hand. It's not one before the other. My guess is that smart people have implemented these things. They're probably doing other smart things in their business, and therefore they're the ones that are doing better.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot that, comes in running a real estate office and all of the rest of those things, Michael. I'm going to defer to you. That's why people come to Club Wealth. You see, you provide those services. As for property marketing, though, more what I'm saying is this is what assists you in selling. What does stun me though on that point is the amount of people who will pay, through the nose for, let's say, a virtual tour, which is important. Virtual tours are great, but they won't have their ducks in a row on photography, or people who will pay thousands of dollars on lead gen, yet their marketing is not up to scratch. And the reality is it's an all-encompassing engine that you need to have running. You don't necessarily need to go looking for listing leads if your marketing is the top in your town, because they're going to come at you. I'm going to be looking at the MLS going, my goodness, Michael Hellickson has something about his marketing. Look at every single listing, no matter the price. It's unbelievable. So I will then, in order, I'll pick up the phone and give him a call and say, "Can you come and list my property?"
Right.
Because I know what I'm going to get. And I think that particular point is one I would like to make. And actually, Michael, the other thing I'd add is we've got your event coming up, where I'm going to be talking about one aspect of property marketing, which is virtual staging. So that's pretty exciting for me as well. That tends to be the most popular thing that we do in the US, and I'm going to be talking quite a bit about that at that event.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that, and I'm really glad you're going to be speaking at the Marketing Technology Summit. For those of you that don't have a ticket to that yet, go to marketingandtechnologysummit.com. Again, it's marketingandtechnologysummit.com. Peter, I know we're out of time. I want to thank you for sharing this information with us, and it's kind of a teaser for what you're going to be sharing at Marketing and Technology Summit. So if you guys haven't gotten that ticket, get there. We've got a ton of great speakers. And we've got Peter speaking as well. I'm just giving you a hard time, brother. I love you. He's actually a really great speaker. He's like,
no, but beyond that, beyond the speaking, I'll actually be attending the whole thing. So if you need to come and speak to me one-on-one, that opportunity is there. It's not just, the speakers are fantastic. You can go to the page and have a look at them all. They're all much better than me. I'm happy to admit that. But if you want one-on-one attention, that is also there. And a lot of them will be there for the duration as well.
And very seriously, you guys, Peter is one of the smartest people I know in this industry. Don't let the fact that he's from Australia fool you into believing that he doesn't understand U.S. real estate, because he does. He's a real student of the game, if you will, student of the industry. And that's saying a lot, because most people aren't really a student of the industry. They don't really study the ins and outs and what really makes it click and what really is changing things globally in our industry. Peter's pretty in touch with that stuff. So I'm always anxious to hear him speak. And I pre-COVID, I got to speak with him on stages all over the country, and we'll get back to that probably next summer. But
I hope so. Yeah, that was good fun. Back in February when life was normal.
Right? I know. So, but it seems like forever ago. So anyway, that being said, also got to do a quick shout out to WiseHire. If you go to www.clubwealth.com/WIZEHIRE. I'm putting that in your screen right now. WiseHire is our sponsor for the show. They're fantastic. They do a ton of recruiting, both for admin and sales positions for us. Love those guys. Go ahead. What you say, Peter? WiseHire, a great company. We catch them on the road. Fantastic. Yeah, they are absolutely awesome. So I'm also going to put in marketing and technologysummit.com. I'm putting that in here as well.
Yeah, get there. Don't just take it from Michael. Take it from somebody who knows what they're talking about. I'd be present at that event.
Wow. Well played, Peter. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. I'm curious. Everybody that's watching this right now, how many of you are using either professional photography or Box Brownie right now? If you could just do me a favor, just type that into your screen. I'm using professional photography for my listings, or I'm using Box Brownie for my listings, or some other editing service, or none of the above. Let me know. I'm curious what our audience is doing. And I'm asking this because so many average real estate agents out there aren't doing any of that stuff. And I'm trying to get a feel for where does our audience fall? Are you guys kind of above average in this stuff? Are you typical with most agents where you're just not quite using that stuff yet? And if not, I got to ask myself why. I'm curious as to that as well. I got nobody typing it in right now, so it's going to be interesting.
No. Can't see anybody there. There are people on, but they're obviously a bit scared. And I actually find that. We ran a Box Brownie free marketing health check for some time, but what we found is the agents were too scared to put their listings into it, to actually give me the listings to have a look and have us dismantle it. It seems to be a bit of a sensitive topic sometimes. So, right. I do get that. And that's why one-on-one time at something like an event's really good, because it's not up on stage. It's not in lights. You can come and show me your listing and I'll have a look at it and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this. Vanessa's watching in another one of our feeds. I'm not sure which one she's watching, but she's saying, yeah, we've got some people saying professional photography. A lot of them are saying they're using professional photography. So interesting. Well, that's good. I wonder, have you guys thought about saving some of that money, and instead of spending, whatever you spend on professional photography, which I've got to assume is between $200 and $500 a house, instead of spending that money, why aren't you guys just using your iPhone and then just hiring Box Brownie to make it look awesome?
Well, for the record, we actually recommend using professional photographers. I think a lot of it comes in the definition of professional photographer. So that's probably where we sit. We think less than 5% of America actually uses professional photography, and we have hard and fast stats on that coming out soon when we finish our analysis of a lot of your MLSs. But it comes back to that point I made before, is that if I can't see outside the windows, or there's a white haze or any kind of haze outside the windows, they're not using a technique called bracketing, and that is really one of the linchpins that define what a professional photographer is. Now, if you can't see outside the windows, then quite often you're just as good using a iPhone, and we developed a new concept for that actually recently, Michael, where it's one button press and it comes out looking amazing. But let's leave that for that's for another day. That's quite an extensive.
Well, I want to hear about that at Marketing Technology. I'm hoping you'll share that with us there.
For sure I will. Yes, for sure I will.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. Well, Peter, I know you've got a hard stop. I've got a rocket too. So that said, you guys, Peter Schravemade, and believe me, if you can say that 10 times fast, then I'll be impressed. But Peter Schravemade, one of the absolute professionals in the industry, one of the smartest guys I know. And if you haven't done so already, go check out Box Brownie. You can go to clubwealth.com/Box Brownie to get our discount on and it's actually not a discount. They start you off with a little bit of money in your account so that you can test their service out essentially for free. And frankly, it's cheap anyway. It's like you get what they charge is crazy affordable. I can't believe that you guys are running that model as low cost as you are. I think it's like 40 cents for a photo or something. I'm kidding. It's not quite that cheap, but it's literally like a couple of bucks to have a photo touched up. What is the cost now? What's it cost?
It's $1.60.
$1.60 per photo. That's so cheap. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, all right. Well, good stuff. Well, Peter, anything you want to share before we wrap it up?
Oh no, just thanks for having me on Club Wealth TV. It's really good to see you, albeit down a camera. It'd be better in person, but such is life at the moment. I can't wait till we catch up. And to everyone out there, thanks for joining us today. Stay safe wherever you are.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks for being on. We'll see you at Marketing Technology Summit.
Catch you then. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.